Closed captioning provided by Sammy's Cafe No. 2. Open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Sammy's Cafe No. 2 in Rancho Cucamonga.
Let's Dine Out is made possible by support from Food for Life Baking Company, makers of over 60 organic, all-natural sprouted baked goods, as well as gluten-free and vegan products. Food for Life Baking Company, dedicated to better health since 1964. Foodforlife.com.
Serve Pro of South Redlands, Yucaipa, providing 24-hour emergency service to any size residential or commercial emergencies, like water, fire, mold, or storm damage. Professional, insured, and bonded. Serve Pro of South Redlands, Yucaipa. Bratwurks Gourmet Hot Dogs in Redlands. Contemporary, fast, casual dining, featuring gourmet hot dog and sausage sandwiches, salads, and other culinary creations. Other locations in San Bernardino and soon to be open in Palm Desert. And by The Castle Restaurant, serving an assortment of hot and cold appetizers, Middle Eastern entrees with live entertainment, including belly dancing. The Castle Mediterranean Restaurant in Riverside.
And viewers like you, supporting local public television. Thank you.
I'm food critic Alan Borgen, member of the Southern California Restaurant Writers. I've been finding the best restaurants in the Inland Empire and Southern California for over 27 years. This is my job. This is my passion. Let's dine out. Hi, food critic Alan Borgen here.
And I'm Trisha Jansen.
Welcome to another delicious edition of the Let's Dine Out show, where we show you some of our favorite restaurants in the Inland Empire and throughout Southern California. Well, Trisha, we're here at Lake Elsinore, and we chose this because we like the smallness of the city, and there's a lot of cities that we just get overlooked.
Well, I think, especially in the Inland Empire, there are so many little cities that are just sort of overlooked. And in the Inland Empire, if you're traveling out to like Temecula or the wineries, Lake Elsinore is somewhere you're just going to pass on by.
So we're trying to
give you little places to stop on the way. Maybe you need to eat on the way to Temecula.
Well, we did a lot of eating.
And then you'll eat again when you get there.
Exactly. So, what's on today's menu?
First, we are off to Lake Elsinore to experience some terrific barbecue meats from Jack's Bbq Shack. Then we travel to nearby Menifee for some delicious regional Mexican dishes from Provecho Grill.
Overlooking Lake Elsinore sits a small roadside restaurant called Jack's Bbq Shack. This tiny yet cozy dining room is sparsely decorated, while the real attraction is the large wood-burning smoker. Owners Jack Martin and Lane Hoffart are serious about their smoked meats and invite you to experience their friendly service and great down-home cooking. Okay, Jack's Bbq Shack. Now, all smoked meats aren't created equal.
True.
And it really depends on how you like it and your style.
And I think we all become barbecue snobs, and we all have our own personal style that we like.
Well, we both
judge it on
barbecue
that.
a lot. We
do.
smoke a lot.
We both personally barbecue at home and smoke, and so we're
mine
very
is
into
better
that.
than anybody else's, but that's a
No,
different
mine
story.
is the best.
No, mine is not. Okay, let's get into the food. It's open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Yeah. We got a breakfast item. It's called Shackster's Breakfast Sandwich, $6.99. This was basically a grilled cheese sandwich, but it had 2 eggs, 4 slices of American cheese, yes, 4, 2 slabs, nice thick slabs of spicy Spam, and it was on toasted sourdough bread. It came with real crispy country fried potatoes, with cubes, with onions and bell peppers. I really like this sandwich. Now it does come also, if you want, and if you don't like Spam, you can also get it in bacon. But I like the Spam. It gave it nicely kick to it, spicy. And I thought it was in Hawaii as I was eating this. I was like, wow, I'm in Honolulu or Maui eating Spam.
We first tried it with the bacon, and surprisingly, I liked the Spam better. I know, it's shocking that I didn't like the bacon. The spicy Spam added an extra texture to it. I'd like a little bit more of a grill on the Spam, I think, just to kind of get a little bit more of that kind of fried bologna type flavor. I did a little bit, but I'd like a little bit more, but I liked it. I thought it was really good.
Very good.
Next, we had the grilled cheese tri-tip sandwich, $8.99. Now this is, again, 4 slices of American cheese. They definitely bring the cheese love on. This is on sourdough bread, and then they take tri-tip and they put it inside there with all that melted ooey gooey cheese. Now the sourdough bread has like a garlic spread on it, so you get that garlic bread flavor, that yummy gooey cheese, and the tender tri-tip. I liked it. The only critique I really have for this is I really like to see a crustier bread. It was kind of soggy, and the tri-tip is heavy, so I feel like it needs a real substantial bread. But other than that, the flavors were good.
Really good.
Absolutely.
They use so much cheese here, it's not even funny.
Oh my gosh. And I hate that. You get a grilled cheese sandwich that has like one slice of cheese, you're like, really?
Yeah, no,
it's nice that they put a lot of cheese on it.
No. Next came the one-hander, $13.99. This is one plate, folks. This is a half rack of ribs, and it comes with 2 sides, fries, and a small drink for $13.99. We're talking 7 massive pork ribs. I mean, so meaty.
Yeah.
They're dry seasoned. They're smoked for, I believe, 4 hours, 3-4 hours. I really liked it. When I had it the first time, I have to admit, it was fresh. I had it right then and there. I loved it, but also you add the sauce to it. The smoke is very delicate.
Yeah.
A lot of the foods we had today, you eat it, and some smoke like mine, or real hickory wood rather, it just hits you. This didn't hit you, but afterwards I could taste it. And to me, that's just another variation of barbecue. It wasn't good, it wasn't bad, but that's their style.
Yeah.
And when you add the sauce to it, it's a homemade sauce. It's a little tangy, it's oniony, a little spicy. I really liked it. It really complemented the rub and the smoke.
Yeah, I personally, I mean, first of all, the plate is impressive. It's a ton of food for $13.99. I mean, if you're hungry, this is like a meat lover's dream. Very impressive. To me, there wasn't enough smoke flavor for sure. I probably wouldn't know.
So you like smoke?
I like smoke, and I smoke a lot at home. You know, they were tender, but I just wasn't getting that smoky flavor that I expect to get.
Yeah. Well,
So it's all about opinions.
It really is.
Yep. Next, we had the Monster Stupid Burger, $13.99. Now, stupid is spelled S-T-O-O-P-I-D, and I'm like, stupid? Okay.
There's a word that best describes it. If you're Jewish, you'd understand it. Oy vey.
Oy vey. I'm not Jewish, and I know what oy vey means. This is huge. $13.99. I mean, just one of the patties alone would be $13.99. So this is 2 half-pound beef patties. They're 30% pork belly and 70% beef. They're really good. 6 slices of cheese. We did 3 American and 3 pepper jack, and I think the other option was
ghost pepper.
Ghost pepper. So you could probably combine that any way you want to. 6 slices of bacon, lettuce, tomato, pickle, onion.
On a brioche bun.
Was it brioche?
Yep.
Okay, I missed the brioche part. This is huge. There's no way in the world you could manage to eat
I don't know any human being that can eat it.
You know, it was hard to critique it. It was beautiful. It was huge. But I mean, there's no way I can eat everything at once because it was just too big.
That's true.
So that's my critique. I feel like burgers become more and more outrageous and get less and less about the flavors.
What made it nice was the pork belly. There's enough fat in pork belly that gives it the juiciness of it. I think that's what I tasted it, and I really liked it.
Okay.
I love the flavor of it.
Okay.
Next up, pulled pork sandwich, $8.99. It was a little bit different than what I make. I make mine real. It's got a real big bark on it. It's also it was moist, but then again, I didn't make this one, so I don't know exactly how they did it. It could have sat for a little bit. But when I added barbecue sauce and coleslaw, which I always do with mine too, voila, you had a great sandwich. And again, for $8.99, you're not going to go away hungry and you'll be satisfied.
Yeah, I didn't taste the smoky flavor in this, so I was disappointed. It's not the pulled pork that I love. It's just not smoky. So, you know, again, it's a big portion, but it just doesn't have that smoky flavor.
Yeah.
So that's my critique. The next we have the Bbq Beef Sandwich, $8.99. Comes on the same style roll as the pulled pork. It's about beef shoulder. It's served with barbecue sauce, and again, we had the coleslaw. It just needed another level of flavor in there.
2 of the staff members told me that that's their favorite dish here, because as soon as it gets off the smoker, they cut it, put the coleslaw on. It's
just
juicy, and again, it's like any meat you cook. I mean, it's like brisket. Unless you have brisket right then and there, the next day it's not going to be as good. So
True.
I don't know when they made this. I'm sure maybe it was like yesterday or maybe early this morning.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's the way it is.
be.
Then we have beef ribs. Now, normally beef ribs are puny. They're tough. You don't find them very often because they're hard to cook. These were Fred Flintstone pork ribs. These were the largest ribs I've ever seen in my entire life. They charge them by the pound, $13.99 a pound. The one we have, I forgot to ask how big it is, but
Ginormous.
this is a gigantic chunk of meat. It was tender to the bite. It comes right off, and it was a perfect beef rib. I mean, you can't get any better. I was just very impressed. They only have it on Fridays only. You should call in and make reservations because they fly out the door.
Yeah.
And people come all, from everywhere just for the ribs. So it's very special.
Like you said, it's very rare that a restaurant has these. I think these were particularly good. And if you call ahead and prepay, then you can be assured that you get them because they sell out very quickly and they won't hold them for you unless you pay for them. So
I don't blame them.
And they're delicious. They really are. I have to agree.
I forgot how much you paid for them, but they're very pricey.
They're huge.
But it's well worth it.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's amazing. Oh, what a meal. So,
what were your favorites?
Oh, mine, the Shackster breakfast sandwich. I really like it. Spam, I never thought I liked Spam. I've had it before.
I know, right?
But I felt like I was eating in Maui or Hawaii. So
Definitely.
I love that one. The one-hander, the ribs, I really like them. And of course, the beef rib. I'd come back here just for the beef ribs.
Yeah, I'm going to say definitely the Shackster breakfast sandwich. To me, people really came for breakfast, and I can see that's a perfect on-the-go breakfast. I'm going to say the grilled cheese with the tri-tip, just because I love grilled cheese. And then I'm going to say the beef ribs. I think those are some of the better ones I've had. So good flavors.
I'll tell you, this is just a cute little restaurant. Yes. The whole time we were filming, all 4 hours, people kept coming in and coming in.
Absolutely.
It was slammed. And every restaurant should have this kind of clientele. And they're really neat people.
They are, and it's nice that the seating is really quaint, and sometimes you're sitting, communal seating, and everybody's friendly. And ladies, if you're single, barbecue meat brings the men.
A lot of guys.
I'm just gonna say, if you're single, come on down.
Yeah, if you have a big appetite, this is the place you want to go. So.
Well, we're off to the next restaurant, to Menifee, to Provecho Grill. Stay tuned.
Yum yum! I'm getting hungry. I don't know about you.
From the outside, Provecho Grill in Menifee may look like an ordinary restaurant found in most commercial strip centers, but once you enter this colorful cantina-themed eatery, you are in for a real culinary journey through Mexico. Owner Chef Rosie O'Connor and her dedicated staff take pride in delighting their hungry guests with a nice array of delicious regional dishes found in Mexico and welcome your visit.
We're here in Menifee. It's at restaurant number 2, and this used to be Sun City, so I'm sure it's going to drive you nuts. Somehow it was incorporated into Menifee, so yep. I don't know what happened. Did they ship Sun City out? I don't know.
Sun City sort of had a reputation for being an older community, maybe not, something that's as desirable. So Menifee is a newer community, so it just sounds better.
But this is our first restaurant, and boy, did we pick a good one.
Oh yeah, the flavors. They're alive. It feels like a vacation in here. It's got everything going for it. Great flavors and great food.
As soon as you walk in, the vibe, the feeling, the smell, the music, everything. You're in for a treat.
Yeah.
Then there's Chef Rosie O'Connor. Now, with the name O'Connor, you expect her to be Irish or a different type of non-Hispanic. Well, she's from Latin America. Her family's owned restaurants before, and I'll tell you what, rather than me talk about her, let Rosie talk about herself.
Hello everyone, my name is Chef Rosie O'Connor and I'm the chef owner of Provecho Grill. So when you come to Provecho, what you're gonna find is that it's a regional Mexican restaurant. And so what I do, I go to Mexico, learn these recipes, bring them back home, and I want you to feel like you're going to Mexico. I want you to feel like you're traveling and you're on vacation. You have the bright colors, the bold flavors, and I'm bringing you a little piece of Mexico.
Wow, thanks Rosie. You said it better than I ever could. So I don't know about you, but I'm ready. I'm hungry and I want to travel.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. They open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yep.
And let's start with the breakfast dish. This is chilaquiles, $8.95. This is a dish that Mama makes with leftover tortillas. Not my mom or Rosie's mom. This is crispy tortillas. They're cooked with a guajillo chili sauce and 2 eggs on top with refried beans and rice. I thought this was sensational. I've had so many renditions of chilaquiles, but this is all made together, and that's why it's so nice. A lot of them, they just pour it on real quick. This is actually cooked with the sauces.
Yeah.
And that's to get all the flavor, and this is a fantastic dish.
It's comfort food 101, if you're Hispanic.
Yep.
Next, we had something that's very special here. It's called pork belly Benedicto. It's $10.95. Now, this is their version of a Eggs Benedict, but amplified. So let me tell you what's in here. Seared pork belly, green salsa, has breakfast potatoes underneath it, a beautiful hollandaise sauce that they make, queso fresco, pico de gallo, and pickled onions. There's so many flavors going on here, and it's with a bagel. So it doesn't have a bagel?
That was a bagel? It was a roll.
Was it a roll?
Yeah.
Okay, it was a Tolaggio roll? Okay.
One of the rolls.
So there's so many flavors going on here. I love the Angry Orchard barbecue sauce. I think that's brilliant. It brings out a really nice, sweet, tart flavor. The hollandaise sauce is so creamy and velvety. I love the contrast of the sauce. The queso fresco gives a little bit of texture, just a little bit of heat to it. The pico de gallo is really great, and I love the pickled onions. It gave that sour profile
Yeah,
to
the
it.
combination, everything worked together. My only thing is when you eat it, you take
It's
you
a
cut
mess.
it goes flying down. What I would do is add a piece of cheese to the roll, then add the pork
And
belly.
glue it all together.
Yeah, it kind of glues it together. It's no big deal, but I would ask for cheese on it. I definitely would. Next came the chili guajitos. This is $10.95. This is from Baja part of Mexico. It's coastal. Yellow chilies stuffed with cut up chipotle shrimp and a delicious creamy Cajun sauce with aioli and soy sauce. This dish had a lot of different feelings about it. Excellent dishes, but the problem was the chili was very, very spicy,
Oh my
which is
gosh.
fine. I love spiciness.
Yeah.
The shrimp was nice and succulent and sweet. However, the Cajun sauce on the bottom kind of competed with the hot chili.
I agree.
I suggest getting a different chili or a different sauce. It was both hot and hot.
Too hot.
But they competed against each other, so you couldn't get the full body, the full essence of what it
I
should
agree.
be.
I took one bite of it and I was like, oh, I love this, the flavor, because the sauce was so velvety. And then it hit me and I was like, I was like trying to stick my tongue in water. It was so hot
But
for me.
princesses don't eat hot
I
food.
know, I'm a wimp.
So-
I admit that I'm a wimp.
No,
It's very
it was spicy.
very bold flavor,
But
for
good.
sure. Next we had something called pambazo. This is $10.99. This is from the region in Mexico City. This is a wet torta, basically. So it's sliced Angus steak with chorizo, potatoes, lettuce, crema, queso fresco on a tolero roll, and it's smothered in the chili Colorado sauce and the chili guajillo
Right.
sauce. You know, I'm not a fan of tortas. I really am not. There's so much going on in a torta. However, this one has great flavor. So if you love tortas, you're going to love this one. The flavors are really, first of all, the meat is so beautiful. It's tender. It has a nice charred flavor to it. Very
Punch
good.
to it.
You know, every layer had a lot going on. I just feel like with a torta, it has everything I don't like in a dish. It's soggy. It's layered with so many different things.
But, see, I disagree. I'll tell you why. That bun,
It's
the
meant.
whole idea is for it to soak up the juices
I
and
know
the
that
sauces.
it is. But
So
it's just my personal
that's
thing.
personal, that's
I'm
fine.
not a fan of soggy
Now, see,
anything.
I like tortas, but if they have flavor and they're good. Most of them are just beans with
Yes.
mayonnaise and lettuce,
Yeah.
tomato, and useless meat. This
Yeah.
has flavor, has texture.
It does.
It's got everything. So,
I would agree with you. It has great flavor. I'm just not a fan of tortas. So I'm just going to say that. If you like tortas, you'll like this one.
Next came the carnitas.
Carnitas. Yeah, this is from the Michoacan region of Mexico. This is slow roasted, and I'm talking building the flavor. Citrus roasted pork, and they do grilled onions and red and green bell peppers with it, with a little pico de gallo, jalapenos, guacamole, beans and rice and tortillas. This is the best carnitas. It has such a beautiful citrus flavor. Has that perfect crust on the outside, tender and juicy. Even the fat on it. You know how they render the fat out, and it's just so juicy when
That's
you
very
eat
good.
it. This was delicious. I can't say enough. You must get this carnitas.
The rice and beans, I want to comment on that. I love the rice here. It's dry, it's firm, but it's flavorful.
Very.
Very good. And the beans are excellent. I don't know if they have lard in it, but they're very good with cheese.
hope they do.
I see her shaking her head, yes, so they have lard in there. But they're very good. Next came the mole chicken enchiladas, $11.99. This is from the region of Puebla, and this is her own rendition of it. It's enchiladas stuffed with chicken, cheese, and served with rice and beans. Simple, but incredible. The mole, there's like 40 different types of moles in Puebla.
Yeah.
And this one had just a mild hint of sweetness. The chicken was very moist,
Yeah.
delicious.
Well, that's what I like so much. She has so much chicken in the enchilada that sometimes mole can be so overwhelming. The flavors are so strong.
No, this is
but this was paired perfect with enough chicken. You know, the ratio was perfect, so it wasn't
And
overwhelming.
The drizzle of
The
crema,
crema.
too is really nice.
Yes.
It kind of mellowed out the nice
It's a strong
mole.
flavor.
Right,
You
really
know,
good.
mole has a strong flavor. Next, we had a dish that I absolutely loved. It's called Shrimp Veracruz, $14.95. Now, this is from the region of Veracruz, obviously. This is shrimp with baby heirloom tomatoes, garbanzo beans, artichoke hearts, and a really beautiful, robust tomato wine sauce. Now, this, the minute I ate it, I was like, this is Northern Italian food. This is my home food. I loved it. It was so beautiful. First, it was about 9 jumbo shrimps that they butterfly. Then the sauce. You know, you have that tomatoes are so fresh. They have just such a fresh flavor to them. And then the garbanzo beans have a nice texture, the artichoke hearts. I love this dish. I wanted to drink the sauce up.
I wanted more sauce. It also had garlic, lots and lots of garlic. That's what hit me the most.
Yeah.
So when you get that with this sweet, succulent shrimp, my goodness, ask for a lot of sauce on this one. They're a little chintzy, I think. I would ask for a lot more. That was this sauce is so good.
Well, I mean, this sauce would be perfect over pasta. I want, there's so many applications for the sauce, but the main thing is it's very fresh.
Yeah.
So this got a bunch of stars next to it.
Next one came pak chuk. This is $13.99. This is from a region of Yucatan. It's achoti garlic marinated pork cutlets, grilled onions, bell peppers, jalapenos, sausage, and it comes with rice and the black beans. Mm-hmm. In Mexico, in Yucatan, they use boar, but since they don't have boar here, they use pork chop. Very, very, very. To me, it had a char flavor, although it wasn't. It was cooked on a flat top. But what's nice about it, you had the nice flavorfulness. You could taste the achoti, which I love.
Yes.
It was marinated just so good. Oh. The grilled onions. You got the pickled onion, which in Yucatan, every dish has a pickled onion.
I love
every
that.
dish. And the sausage had a nice kick to it.
Yeah.
Just a nice plate. Very different. And what's nice about this is, a lot of times pork chops, I'm like, ugh, because they're usually overcooked.
Dry.
This is very moist.
Yeah, this is a very unusual dish. I haven't seen this in a restaurant before, which is nice. I love the contrast of that very garlicky and even citrusy flavor in the pork, and then that acid in that pickled onion. So to me, this was a beautiful dish. Very, very unexpected. I loved it.
Well, if the Dracula comes to your house, you get this dish. Lots and lots of garlic. I love it.
I love that, though. Last but not least, we always have to finish with a perfect dessert. So this was very unusual to see here as well. Sweet potato praline tart, $5.95. It comes with a caramel drizzle, bacon,
crisp bacon,
cinnamon sugar ice cream, and it is divine. You know, this tart is like fall Thanksgiving dinner on a plate. It's like, it's warm, it's crusty on the outside. The filling is very, sweet potato has a very pumpkin-y kind of flavor to it. So it has that very familiar...
The crunch of the bacon is what did it for me.
Well, it's everything. It's the bacon salty, the ice cream, that cinnamon is creamy.
Sweet, salty, cinnamon.
Flaky.
Right.
I mean, it's delicious. For $5.95, get 5. Take them home.
It was a steal. Well, I'll tell you, this is just, I could sit here all night and eat more, but we have to go home. It's 3 in the morning.
I'm going to bust out of my pants. I can't eat another thing.
What were some of your favorites?
For sure the carnitas. I love, to me that's always a signature of a great Mexican restaurant if they can do carnitas well, and they do it fabulous. The shrimp Veracruz, again, it's such a unexpected dish when you come to a Mexican restaurant to really get something of that level. Very fresh. I'm going to say the poke chuck. How do you say that? Did I say that right?
Pak chuk.
Pak chuk.
Close.
I loved it. The citrusy, briny, I loved it.
I pretty much agree with you.
Oh my gosh.
But I would also, I like the pambuso too. I like tortillas. I really like the sauce. That Colorado sauce really made it.
Yeah.
Again, the mole was excellent. Carnitas,
everything was great.
Like carnitas, and the pak chuk was excellent. So, wow.
We won't be speaking Spanish anytime soon. They'll boot us out.
No letters, please. Well, folks, there you have it. Another great edition of the Let's Dine Out show, where we're here to show some of the best restaurants in the Inland Empire and through Southern California. Until next week, food critic Alan Borgen.
I'm Trisha Jansen. Let's cheers.
Happy eating and drinking.
Ding.
Look beautiful.
They are. All this fruit in here.
This is a jalapeno and jalapeno and you have a habanero.
Habanero.
My hair is, it's so good. Oh.
Let's dine out.
And the chef owner, Rosie O'Connor, when I say O'Connor, she's Italian.
So let me just start by telling you that I'm not Italian. I have Peruvian and Japanese and Spanish background. So there you have it. The truth is out. The cat is out of the bag. I am a regional Mexican chef, and that's, my heart's in Mexico for that.
I said Italian. Where did I get Italian from? You know why? I think the shrimp, the Veracruz, tastes like Italian.
Sure.
Right? And I don't even drink it. Well, I guess I do now, but...
He's a drunk.
Why'd you stop me?
Closed captioning provided by Sammy's Cafe No. 2. Open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Sammy's Cafe No. 2 in Rancho Cucamonga.
Let's Dine Out is made possible by support from Food for Life Baking Company, makers of over 60 organic, all-natural sprouted baked goods, as well as gluten-free and vegan products. Food for Life Baking Company, dedicated to better health since 1964. Foodforlife.com.
ServPro of South Redlands, Yucaipa, providing 24-hour emergency service to any size residential or commercial emergencies, like water, fire, mold, or storm damage. Professional, insured, and bonded. ServPro of South Redlands, Yucaipa. Bratwurks Gourmet Hot Dogs in Redlands. Contemporary, fast, casual dining, featuring gourmet hot dog and sausage sandwiches, salads, and other culinary creations. Other locations in San Bernardino and soon to be open in Palm Desert. And by the Castle Restaurant, serving an assortment of hot and cold appetizers, Middle Eastern entrees with live entertainment, including belly dancing. The Castle Mediterranean Restaurant in Riverside.
And viewers like you supporting local public television. Thank you.